How you doing? I'm Adam Knight, and this is The Honest Truth. I'm going to talk about something real quick. I just got to ask any of y'all out there, do any of y'all take vacation days, sick days, have holidays, anything like that? I mean, it seems to be when we're out looking for a job or whatever, one of the negotiating things or decision-making things is how many days off we get. But then when it comes to politicians, whether they're sitting in a county office, state office, Senate, House, whatever, president, if they do anything that's not in that office Monday through Friday, then somebody's saying, well, they're never at work. Well, you know, I hate to break it to you, but they got days off too. And some jobs require people to not be in an office all day. Holy shit, how do you do that? You know, I mean, I know a lot of farmers. They don't sit behind a desk in an office. But they probably got an office at home that they do all their paperwork. They get the stuff done. They do their budget. They get everything balanced and do their taxes. Make sure everything's paid. But most days you'll never find them in the office. Prosecutor. You know, a county prosecutor even. Most days he's not going to be in his office. I hate to tell you, but as a prosecutor, there's investigative work you got to do. You got to talk to the police. You got to talk to the judge. Holy cow, you got to go to court. I mean, there's things in life that happen where you can't be in the office too. There may be a day that you were scheduled to be in the office, and one of your employees calls you up and says, hey, I really have something private to talk to you about, and I can't do it there at your office. I would like to go do it somewhere else. And so then you do. The employee has you meet them at their office, or at their store, or whatever it is. They may have you meet at a restaurant. I don't know. So you're not in your office. You know, but your elected officials, if they do any of that, technically the prosecutor's elected official, and I know I mentioned him in that, or her. But an elected official, if they're not in the office, then we look down on them. Well, people look down on them. People say, hey, why aren't they in the office? They're never in the office. I can't find them. Anytime I need to go over there, I can't find them. Most elected officials have a secretary or office workers, office manager, I don't know, whatever they want to call them, that takes care of meetings, schedules meetings, schedules time for you to sit down with that person and talk to them about whatever it is you need to talk to them about, even their employees. You know, but when we want them right now and they're not there, then we complain. You know, I used to work all day, every day, 9 to 5, 8 to 5. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've never worked a 9 to 5. I've always worked a job, whether it was in the Army or when I worked for a fuel holding facility, or when I worked as a service manager at a auto repair shop, or with horses, whatever it is. I've never worked 9 to 5. As a matter of fact, there's not too many of those jobs that I worked that I can tell you what time I was going to get off that day. Usually I'd go in early morning, and come out, get off later in the evening, sometimes after dinner, sometimes even late at night. But when I work during the day, if I wanted to meet up with somebody and have a meeting and they work day shift, it was kind of hard to get that scheduled. I would have to either miss work or take a day off, or a vacation day, or schedule it during my lunch and not get to eat lunch. But if you're an elected official, people expect you to be available all the time. You can't. You got families. You got kids you got to take care of. You got a wife or a husband that you got to take care of. And we don't look at them like that. We think because we elected them or we hired them as, or whatever, our taxes pay for them, that they should be available to us 24/7. And that doesn't even just include elected officials. Our police, our sheriffs, our fire, ambulance. If you know somebody in one of those departments, there's many times that you may say, hey, why weren't you here? What are you doing? How come I couldn't get a hold of you? They have shifts that they work too. They may not be available at 7 o'clock at night for you to make a call to your house because they worked from 7 a.m. to 7 at night, just got off work. I'm sorry. That's the way it works. Not everybody does and is in an office the time you want them to be. Now, don't get me wrong. There's not a police force out there, or a sheriff's department, or a fire department, or a ambulance service that isn't going to get you taken care of at any time. It just may not be the one you want. Your buddy Joe Blow may not be working that shift. And I wouldn't expect him or her to come to you after their shift. Now, I get it. There's buddies out there that will take care of things off shift. But we can't expect our elected officials to be there every time we want them to be. But we do. I mean, the mentality is that we do. Now let's talk about this. And I don't know, you can respond to me if you like. But if you have an elected official that is available 24/7 and will answer your calls, will sit down and have meetings with you whenever it is that you want, they'll ignore their families, they'll walk away from their dinner table, they'll miss a date night, miss a child's play. I mean, if that's the elected officials that we really want or expect, if that's what we expect out of elected officials, do we really want them? Because if they're not taking care of their family, do you think they're really taking care of you as a county or state or country? I don't. What do you think? I'm Adam Knight, and this is The Honest Truth.